Me say we just get the remedy for the pagan them. Me just get the remedy for bad mind and jealousy. Who have you see me dead? Me just get the remedy, Suck TV. Jam me say. You don't know a Javinche you watching Suck TV. Lord, is it straight triple dose.
Welcome to SAT TV's news. I am Shana Esprit, your presenter. Among the major developments, a young lady dies following vehicle accidents. Caribbean urged to address fiscal challenges. Muslims fear backlash after UK soldiers killing. And in sports, we have the results of games played in the Lime National Basketball League. Details of these will follow.
Yo, this is Michael Ginger, you know this guy from Carry Me, the one sending all the buzz all over. You know, when you see me, you on the best TV. It's called SAT TV, the people's choice, and Carry Me's choice.
Welcome back. 48 junior and 10 senior 4-H club members, including leaders across the island, showcased their talents and skills at a 4-H festival held on Friday, May 24th. This was just one of 9 festivals to take place from May 24th to June 14th. This is organized to create opportunities for the clubites to highlight their achievements and demonstrate citizenship. Chief Youth Development Officer Mr. John Roach, impressed with the exhibits of the students, stated the 4-H program is one of the oldest at the Youth Development Division.
It is one of the programs where we concentrate on the younger population of our youth population, because youth development division really targets from 15 upwards. But with the 4-H club, we start a lot younger and really preparing our young people for enterprise development, more specifically in the area of agriculture. And now there's a lot of focus on what we refer to as traditional things, or things traditional.
Mr. Roach noted, at the Youth Development Division, they take youth development very seriously, and the 4-H is just one of many programs they promote. Former 4-H coordinator Mr. Eddie F. Roye mentioned he is very much delighted to see that the club is alive and kicking to this present day. It has progressed from when he was coordinator in 1974, when the government instituted the 4-H program. 4-H is very relevant today, particularly in the whole concept of achievement. So students, when reminiscing at some point in their lives, can say, "This is what 4-H has taught me," said Mr. Roye.
It's very much relevant, particularly with the Junior Achievement Program, where you learn skills in running a business, because your own little 4-H project, and I know you concentrate a lot on community and group projects. But in my days, and even today, in other countries in 4-H, each individual clubite needs to have a project that you plan and you see through right through the end. And I know you can do it. I know that Dominica needs this sort of thing. We talk about agriculture, we talk about home economics, and I can see all the beautiful things that have been made, and I know you have the skills. A lot of negative things are being said about young people. Young people are this, young people are that. But when I look at you, the group of young people today, I can really put my hand to my heart and say, yes, there's hope for Dominica. Not all our young people are on the streets. Not all our young people are taking drugs. Not all our young people are delinquent. You are the cream of the crop, and I think you exemplify the true spirits of 4-H, the head for clearer thinking, the heart for greater loyalty to your country and your community, the hands for larger service, and the health for better living.
As part of the festival, there were speech competitions on the topic, Forage in Things Traditional.
Project work forms an integral part of 4-H club work. Every clubite must find his or her niche. This is something he enjoys doing and works diligently at it as a project. According to news sources, just last year, on the 25th of April 2012, the 4-H clubs of the different districts in Dominica gathered at the Public Service Union Hall for the National 4-H Tree Planting Festival. Craft making is another major project undertaken by the 4-H clubites, which basically is skill in planning, making, or executing ideas. Most times, we tend to go local by creating brooms and mats using our natural resources such as latanier, coconut leaves, and even the sticks.
The students also staged a demonstration on the use of the traditional hair straightening comb compared to a modern hair straightener. They also demonstrated the use of the traditional clothes iron among other items. Other activities included a show and tell competition, quiz competition, creative expression, and an exhibition to highlight projects carried out by other 4-H clubites. In other stories, the Office of Disaster Management, in collaboration with the Ministry of National Security, Immigration and Labor, and other stakeholders with the support of the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, recognizes this week, May 27th to June 1st, 2013, as Hazard Week. The observance of Hazard Week started in 2010 and has become an annual event on the calendar of activities of the National Emergency Planning Organization and the Office of Disaster Management. This year, Hazard Week of activities is being observed under the theme, Planning to Plan is not a Plan. Minister of National Security, Immigration and Labor Honorable Charles Savre stated, it is imperative to emphasize and encourage the end result of planning. The planned, and in this particular instance, a disaster plan. Disasters by their nature may be of predictable or unpredictable character. They may be man-made or natural. More recently, we have been seeing and feeling the effects of disasters locally, regionally, and internationally. We must face the real likelihood that disasters could impact all levels of society at some point, and therefore we should put in place a plan to manage the likely effects, said Mr. Savre. He noted a disaster plan is a critical tool that outlines a set of procedures and activities to be followed prior, during, and after an event in an orderly manner. The use of this tool ensures continuity at the level of the individual, the household, the community, the enterprise, and the country, he added. During Hazard Week, the Office of Disaster Management and stakeholder partners will undertake numerous initiatives to raise the public's awareness of the importance of disaster management. Some of these will include school outreach programs, exhibitions, TV and radio programs, and community outreach meetings. In more stories, after a lengthy period abroad, the police have arrested Mr. Earl Seco Grant. Police Public Relations Officer Inspector John Cabon has the details.
The police have arrested Earl Grant, better known as Seco of St. Joseph, and is presently being questioned in relation to the assault on the house of Glenwood Emmanuel in December 2010. He was arrested at the Melvin Hall Airport on his return to the state on May 26, 2013.
Mr. Grant returned home following a request by the Acting Director of Public Prosecutions, Mr. Julian Prevost, about a week ago. Mr. Prevost stated that Mr. Grant was to return home to assist with police investigations into a 2010 fire at the home of former magistrate and attorney Glensworth Emmanuel. He also stated refusal by Mr. Grant to return to Dominica by the end of May will result in him being extradited. On December 25, 2010, fire gutted the home of Mr. and Mrs. Emmanuel while they slept. However, they escaped unarmed. Their vehicle, a Honda CR-V, was extensively destroyed, and a larger section of their home where the vehicle was parked damaged by fire. Following the fire in 2010, Mr. Grant was implicated in a confession by the alleged arsonist, Mr. Denny Shillingford, who claimed that he set the fire by request of Mr. Grant. Mr. Shillingford confessed that he was partially paid to set the fire on Mr. Emmanuel's home. However, he was not paid in full, hence the reason for his confession. Mr. Shillingford said, and I quote, "I went in and I spread the gas all in the kitchen, all on the cylinder. I almost even burned myself. I was paid $400, but after I realized who it was and whose home it was, and I understand what I was really doing, I proposed US $40,000. He said he would give it to me, but I never got it," end quote, during his confession. In more news, the police are conducting investigations into a road traffic accident which occurred in the Siniku Public Road in the Kalinago territory on Sunday, May 26. This unfortunate incident occurred at about 8:20 a.m. when a Nissan pickup registration number PK359 was traveling in a southerly direction. Suddenly, the vehicle driven by 61-year-old Mr. Simon Ronald George of River Sirik ran off the road. The pickup then collided with a 38-year-old pedestrian, Miss Ursuline Frederick of Siniku. Miss Frederick sustained multiple injuries and was transported to the Cassibruce Health Center where she was treated. Miss Frederick, who was subsequently transported to the Princess Margaret Hospital, died at about 10:15 a.m. A coroner's inquest will be convened to be followed by a post-mortem examination. Investigations are continuing.
Two persons were rushed to the Princess Margaret Hospital, PMH, following a vehicular accident that occurred just before 5 p.m. on Monday, May 27th. Reports are that a Nissan X-Trail registration number PS018 was traveling in a northerly direction on the Lalekoko Highway when the driver lost control, causing the vehicle to run off the road and collide with a packed dumper truck. The female driver was seen bleeding from her mouth and chest following the impact. However, the extent of her and the occupant injuries are unknown. The front of the vehicle was damaged badly. However, there was no visible damage to the truck it collided with. SAT TV News will provide an update on this incident once further information becomes available. This is Larry Larrock reporting for SAT TV News.
In other news, Mrs. Justina Charles, Minister for Youth, Sports and Culture, continues to be an advocate for youth development. Honorable Charles believes it is important that we identify ways to show our youth that they are an integral part of the fabric of our nation and that their contribution to national development is appreciated.
On behalf of the government of Dominica, I too would like to add my voice in appreciation for your contributions and urge you to continue to serve, to see a role for yourself in the bigger picture of working not only towards self-advancement, but towards the advancement and growth of a stronger people and nation.
She said in a more complex world, young people will always be faced with new types of social challenges. However, she advised that they should use these challenges to enhance themselves and thrive in society.
You are indeed growing up with ideals, expectations, ambitions, and talents which are unprecedented, driven by new technology and globalization. As a nation, we are proud of the efforts of the National Youth Council to assist you in harnessing these talents and ideals which are bursting at the seams to find expression.
Mrs. Charles said the government of Dominica will continue to play its part to complement the efforts of the National Youth Council as they deliver to the youth the best opportunities in realizing their true potential.
The Dominica Labour Party government has put much effort into creating opportunities for youth to realize personal growth, skill enhancement, and the leadership development. Through the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports, we are conducting on a regular basis training modules to meet the skills development and employment needs of our young men and women. Our efforts to assist you in educating yourselves are also extended to the scholarship opportunities available to you to attend the State College and foreign universities.
She mentioned the significant opportunities the government of Dominica has unlocked to alleviate unemployment, with a focus of self-empowerment through programs and small business loans.
I must also mention the work that is being done at the Small Business Support Unit to position young people to transform their business ideas into practical and tangible businesses. The long and short term of all of this is that we are providing you with the means to make something for yourselves. It is up to you now to make the best of these opportunities. Put your creativity and imagination to work in order that we can collectively build a better Dominica.
It is the belief of the minister that the youth in Dominica contribute significantly to our overall development. Minister of National Security, Immigration and Labor, Honorable Charles Savre, is urging all Dominicans to prepare for the hurricane season. This message came as the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, a division of the United States National Weather Service, sent a release statement that the Atlantic Basin is expected to see an above-normal hurricane season this year. According to the release, the hurricane season, which commences June 1st, 2013, is expected to bring 12 to 18 named storms. 6 to 10 of these storms could develop into hurricanes, with the likelihood of 3 to 6 major hurricanes. Mr. Savre noted, therefore, complacency and inaction are not an option as far as having a plan in place. It is therefore imperative that all citizens and organs of the states prepare our disaster plans with and for our families and workplaces to help us better cope with the possible effects of disaster, including hurricanes or flooding, that usually occur at this time of year, stated Mr. Savre. Let me extend an invitation to you to participate fully in getting prepared. Let us not forget that planning to plan is not a plan, he concluded. In other news, many individuals were recognized for their great contributions to the development of Dominica at the 8th National Youth Awards ceremony at Crazy Coconuts on Saturday, 25th May 2013. With the theme recognizing the contribution of our Dominican youth, it was fitting that the Heroism Award was presented to Jocelyn Prince, who was the lone survivor of a tragic accident that occurred at Pocasset on Friday, April 19th, 2013.
The first recipient of the Heroism Award, sponsored by the telecommunications giant Lion Dominica. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Prince.
Loic Charles received the esteemed Challenge Award. He is living proof to society that people with disabilities can lead normal lives. Despite the fact that he was born blind, Mr. Charles has been able to overcome daily challenges that he is faced with. He now attends the St. Mary's Academy and is presently sitting the CXC examinations.
The recipients of the Esteemed Challenge Award, sponsored by the Discovery Dominican Authority.
Miss Melinda Chevron Ulysses, also known as Mel C, an uprising star who sings and writes her own music, was awarded Outstanding Youth in Music. Take a listen to a performance by Mel C at the 8th National Youth Awards ceremony.
Do they stare at your glory, your beauty? I declare, Dominica Lee, I love rivers. Lay down your burdens here. Filled with splendor, I knock at your door. Tell me all your secrets and so much more. I came when you called. Together we'll rise above all. Kyrie, it's you and me.
Other awardees were presented for academic and extracurricular excellence: Fishiba Joseph; agriculture, Kervin Vidal; culture and heritage, Janae Jackson; sports, Josh Toussaint; visual arts, Bert Shankar Paul; entrepreneurship, Burton John Baptist; esteemed challenge, Loic Charles; esteemed volunteer, Kirk Dumas; outstanding youth in media, Kimara Ito; community youth organization, Les Calais Motivators.
Pick me up when I am happy, you fill my cup, you are my only Lord. Jesus, Lamb of God, worthy.
This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.